You've seen it everywhere. It's that familiar, almost accusatory buzz on your wrist. The time is 9:47 p.m. You're finally winding down, maybe settling into the couch after a long day. And then the notification flashes. A tiny digital taskmaster disguised as a helpful reminder. You're short 1,142 steps. It's not a suggestion. It feels like a verdict. A judgment on your entire day delivered in 4 cold digits. And suddenly, you're up. You're pacing your living room like you're trying to hatch an egg, marching in place while the TV drones on, or doing laps around the kitchen island. All because of a number. A big, round, intimidating number that has somehow become the universal benchmark for a good day. Because somewhere along the line, we all agreed on this strange modern rule. It's woven into our social media feeds, our workplace wellness challenges, and our private anxieties. If you don't hit 10,000 steps, you're basically not healthy, not disciplined, not that person. It's a clean, simple target, and our brains love that. Round numbers feel complete, authoritative. They offer a clear line between success and failure. But that's also what makes them so misleading. But what if I told you that number, 10,000, was never a medical prescription? It wasn't born in a lab or a longitudinal health study. It was closer to a marketing slogan, cooked up in the 1960s for the Tokyo Olympics to sell one of the world's first commercial pedometers. The device was called Manpoke, which translates to 10,000 steps meter. It sounded good, it was memorable, it sold pedometers. But it was never science. And what if the real truth is more interesting and more freeing than any round number your smartwatch can bully you with? What if the science of movement is more nuanced, more personal, and ultimately more achievable than this one-size-fits-all goal? What if your body's actual needs have nothing to do with hitting a specific 5-digit number before midnight? Tonight, we're going to expose the myth, keep the part that actually works, because walking is fantastic for you, and figure out what your body truly needs without turning life into a step-counting cult. We'll explore the real science, from the minimum effective dose of movement to the point of diminishing returns. We'll look at how to measure what really matters, which often isn't just steps. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to set a step goal that's realistic, personal, and actually effective for your age, your lifestyle, and your health. A goal that serves you, not the other way around. But first, if you're ready to break free from digital dogma, like this video, subscribe to Question Sphere, and let's get started. Let's start with an extreme story. A man named Jean Béliveau decided to walk around the world on foot. Not walk around the world like a motivational quote. Literally. He walked for years through dozens of countries, sleeping in tents, strangers' houses, and sometimes in jail. By the time he finished, reports describe him having walked more than 75,000 kilometers through 64 countries. Now, obviously, that's not the goal. But his story reveals something important. Walking is the most natural health upgrade humans have, because it's not really exercise. It's movement. It's how the body was designed to live. So why did we turn movement into a scoreboard? Let's talk about the most famous number in fitness history: 10,000 steps a day. Most people assume it came from science, like a doctor calculated the perfect number. But multiple sources trace the popular 10,000 step goal back to Japan in the 1960s, when a company marketed a pedometer called Manpoke, meaning 10,000 step meter. In other words, the number was memorable, marketable, and it stuck. And here's why that matters. If 10,000 is a marketing number, then failing to hit it isn't a health failure. It might just mean you didn't complete a very catchy ad campaign from 60 years ago. We built a modern self-worth system around a number that wasn't designed for medicine. But here's the twist. Just because the number was arbitrary doesn't mean walking isn't powerful. The truth is just more nuanced and way more useful. So what actually happens when you walk more? Let's fact-check the benefits without turning it into a fairy tale. Walking can improve mood and reduce stress, partly because physical activity boosts feel-good brain chemicals like endorphins. It doesn't cure depression, but research consistently shows regular movement is associated with better mood and lower depression risk. Walking nudges your brain into a more resilient state. Not because life becomes perfect, but because your brain becomes harder to knock down. When it comes to heart health and longevity, things get interesting. Large studies show that compared to around 4,000 steps a day, taking closer to 8,000 steps is associated with substantially lower all-cause mortality risk. And across multiple reviews, the same pattern shows up again and again. More steps tend to be better, especially if you're starting from very low activity. But the benefits don't flip on at 10,000 like a switch. For brain health, studies have found step count is associated with dementia risk, with a kind of sweet spot appearing just under 10,000 steps a day. This doesn't prove cause and effect, but it's a strong signal that daily movement is tied to long-term brain outcomes. Walking also helps bone health because it's weight-bearing. But here's a nuance people don't like hearing. Walking helps, but strength training or higher impact movement can be more effective for some bone outcomes. Walking is powerful, but it's not the entire skeleton plan. And this is where step obsession becomes a trap. Steps don't measure health. They measure countable movement. Your watch doesn't give you credit for cycling, swimming, strength training, carrying groceries, or pushing a stroller uphill like you're in a survival movie. Steps are a useful metric, not a full diagnosis. The real goal isn't 10,000 steps. The real goal is getting your body out of low movement mode. The biggest health jump often happens when someone moves from very low steps to moderate steps. If you're averaging 1,500 or 2,000 steps a day, your best goal might be 4,000 to 6,000 first, not 10,000. So after all this, what is the magic number you should actually aim for? The honest answer is that there isn't one. The best target is deeply personal, and it depends entirely on your unique circumstances. We need to move beyond a one-size-fits-all approach and embrace a strategy that is practical, sustainable, and tailored specifically to you. Your starting point, your health goals, your age, and even your daily schedule all play a crucial role in defining what success looks like. The goal isn't to hit an arbitrary number. It's to build a consistent habit that enhances your life without adding unnecessary stress. The good news is that research overwhelmingly suggests meaningful health benefits appear far below the 10,000 step mark. Numerous large-scale studies demonstrate that the most significant improvements in health outcomes, like reduced risk for chronic diseases and mortality, occur when people move from being sedentary to taking around 4,000 to 8,000 steps per day. The benefits do continue to accrue beyond that, but the rate of improvement often slows down. This concept is known as a dose-response relationship, where the initial doses of activity provide the biggest bang for your buck. Based on this evidence, many experts now suggest that a target of around 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day is a powerful and realistic goal for the average adult. If you're currently not very active, aiming for 7,000 steps is a much more effective strategy than striving for 10,000. Why? Because it feels achievable, which boosts motivation and makes you more likely to stick with it long-term. It's a target that delivers profound health benefits without feeling like an insurmountable daily chore. While some individuals will certainly benefit from more, it's crucial to remember that this is a guideline, not a moral imperative. Instead of fixating on one number, it's more helpful to think in personalized levels. Consider this a staircase to better health. Level 1, the reboot phase, is for those starting from a very low baseline. Here, just getting to 3,000 or 4,000 steps is a massive win. Level 2 is the health foundation, from 5 to 7,000 steps. This is where many of the biggest gains in longevity and well-being appear. For an office worker, this might mean adding a lunchtime walk. For a busy parent, it could be a walk with the kids after dinner. For a retiree, it might be a morning stroll to the local coffee shop. Level 3, the optimal zone, is between 8 and 10,000 steps. This range offers robust protection against disease and can be fantastic for mental clarity, provided your body and joints recover well. Finally, Level 4, the performance tier, is anything over 10,000 steps. This is excellent for those who genuinely enjoy it and find it fits their lifestyle, but it is not a badge of superiority or a requirement for good health. The key is to find the level that challenges you, but doesn't break you. Remember, your body doesn't know what a step is. It only responds to the physical demands placed upon it. Stress, recovery, muscle engagement, increased blood flow, and the use of energy. This is why flexibility in your goals is paramount. If you're sick, traveling, or facing a week of terrible weather, don't abandon your routine. Adjust it. Your goal might shift from 7,000 steps to simply moving for 15 minutes indoors. A bad day doesn't erase your progress. True success lies in adapting and staying consistent, not in hitting a perfect number every single day. When it comes to walking, a common debate emerges. Should you focus on speed or just volume? On one side, you have the intensity camp, arguing that a walk isn't a real workout unless your heart rate is up. On the other, the accumulation camp insists that every single step, no matter how slow, contributes to your health. It's a classic quality versus quantity argument. So, who's right? The truth is, both sides have a valid point. Brisk walking, where you can still talk but not sing, is a powerful tool for improving your cardiovascular fitness and VO2 max. It challenges your heart and lungs to adapt and grow stronger. Meanwhile, slower casual walking is fantastic for your metabolic health, joint mobility, and mental clarity, especially when it replaces long periods of sitting. A practical approach is to embrace both. Think of it as an 80-20 rule for your feet. Keep most of your daily steps easy and conversational. Then, sprinkle in a few short, brisk moments throughout your week. This isn't about following a trend. It's about giving your body the varied stimulus it needs. Your heart and muscles adapt to challenge, while your mind and metabolism benefit from consistent, gentle movement. This brings us to a crucial point. The real villain in our modern lives isn't necessarily a low step count. It's a high sitting count. You can be what experts call an active couch potato, someone who hits 10,000 steps but still spends 8, 9, or even 10 hours a day chained to a chair. That prolonged sitting negates many of the benefits of that one big walk. This is why so many people end up panic walking at night, trying to cram all their steps into one exhausting session. A far more effective strategy is to focus on movement frequency. Weave in movement snacks throughout your day. Set a timer for a 5-minute walk every hour. Make it a rule to stroll for 10 minutes after a meal. Take your phone calls while pacing. This is how walking becomes an integrated part of your lifestyle, not a chore to be dreaded. And here's the final piece of the puzzle that motivational quotes often ignore. Your environment is everything. Safety, shade, and simple walkability matter immensely. Research consistently shows that people in walkable neighborhoods have higher levels of well-being and feel less lonely. If your area isn't ideal, hack it. Drive to a local park, use a nearby school track after hours, or even just do laps in a mall. When the environment becomes walk-friendly, people start moving more naturally, without needing a single speech or fitness tracker to tell them to. So here's the line that always starts arguments. 10,000 steps is a great goal if it motivates you. It's a terrible goal if it shames you. Shame doesn't build habits. It builds quit cycles. The healthiest relationship with steps is to use them as feedback, not identity. To notice patterns, not punish yourself. To design your day, not judge your worth. Most of us will never walk 75,000 kilometers around the world. But we face a smaller version of the same question every day. Will we stay trapped in the tiny box of routine or expand it by one walk? Every walk is a vote. Not just for your heart, your mood, or your future brain, but for a life that feels a little more awake. So here's your question sphere challenge. For the next 7 days, don't chase 10,000. Chase plus 2,000. Whatever your current average is, add about 2,000 steps. Do it your way. And at the end of the week, don't ask if you hit the perfect number. Ask if your body felt more like it was meant to feel. Because the secret isn't 10,000 steps. The secret is movement you can repeat for the rest of your life. And the real flex isn't hitting 10K once. It's building a routine you can keep, even on your worst week. This is Question Sphere. If you enjoyed the video, tab like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments which question we should answer next for you.